Hello students, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Let's study, and today we are going to start chapter number 2 from the book First Flight, that is Nelson Mandela Long Walk to Freedom. It is adapted from Nelson Mandela's autobiography Long Walk to Freedom. So here we will learn something about Nelson Mandela, his sacrifices, okay, his life history. Okay, let's before starting to this chapter, let's discuss something related to this chapter. Okay, first is apartheid system. So do you know what is apartheid system? A kind of a political system which separate a people in a society according to their race. Now race means it is a grouping of human based on their physical appearance or social qualities. Okay, for example, in our society there are different kind of people, different kind of traits, personalities are there, right? Different physical qualities are there. Okay, for example, some are white, some are black, okay, some are dusky skin tone. So categorization of people according to their physical appearances, okay, social qualities, these are called race. Okay, so apartheid, it promote this kind of separation, okay, and the separation are according to their race. Now I think you have heard about Nelson Mandela. He's a very great person, okay, and Nelson Mandela, let's learn little bit about Nelson Mandela before going through this story, because finally we are going to learn about Nelson Mandela's own life history, his struggle life. Okay, so Nelson Mandela and his African National Congress, so he was a member of African National Congress at the time, and during his struggle, during his fight against that apartheid system, he spent a lifetime fighting. Okay, he had spent a lifetime fighting against apartheid system. So he and his African National Congress, they fighted against this apartheid system. Okay, and then after Mandela, he had to spend 30 years in prison. So this is very important. Then for how many years Nelson Mandela spent in prison? So the answer is 30 years. For 30 years he spent in prison while fighting against this apartheid system. And important, you please note down or underline 1994. So in the year of 1994, South Africa's first democratic election was held, okay, and Mandela became the first black president of a new nation. So that is the change happened after his lifetime struggle. Okay, now I already told that this is the extract taken from his autobiography Long Walk to Freedom, and in this extract Mandela speak about the historic occasion, that is the inauguration ceremony. Okay, he speak about the inauguration ceremony, that how it was held, what are the changes he had seen on that day as compared before when he was a struggler. Okay, when he was struggling to free his countryman. Okay, now Mandela becomes South Africa's first black president. Nelson Mandela has become South Africa's first black president after more than 3 centuries of white rule. So after the 3 centuries of white rule, if I will say white rule, means that American or British people, they are white. Okay, in a very simple term, let me tell you, South African people, their colors are basically, they are black in color, and white in color, who are those white people? Basically those American and British people. So what happened, they ruled, white people, they ruled those black people. Okay, they torture those black people. Okay, that is apartheid system. Okay, they discriminate the people according to their color, race. Okay, now for 3 centuries, now 1 century means 100, 3 century you can easily find out. Okay, so for as after 3 centuries of white rule, finally Nelson Mandela has become South Africa's first black president, which is obviously impossible. Okay, if those people, they never fought against this apartheid system, then I think till today's date, I think this system this apartheid system will goes on in South Africa. Okay, Mr. Mandela's African National Congress Party won 252 of the 400 seat in the first democratic elections of South Africa's history. So how Nelson Mandela won? So Nelson Mandela and his party, that is African National Congress, they won 252 out of 400 seat in the first democratic election which was held in South Africa, in which year? In 1994. The inauguration ceremony took place in the Union Building Amphitheatre in Pretoria today, attended by politicians and dignitaries from more than 140 countries around the world. So Nelson Mandela here describing about the inauguration ceremony. It is his autobiography. Okay, so here I, the word like the pronoun like I, we, this kind of word you will get today like that. Okay, so inauguration ceremony, when he become president, okay, of South Africa, obviously he will have a good inauguration ceremony. Yeah, he will receive a good inauguration from all over the world, right? So it was took place in which building? In the Union Building Amphitheatre, which is in Pretoria. Okay, and that inauguration ceremony was attended by many politicians and dignitaries, means high officials from more than 140 countries around the world. Okay, for more than 140 countries around the world. From those countries, the high officials, that is dignitaries and politicians, they came to attend the meeting. So what Nelson Mandela said on that day, that never again will this beautiful land experience the oppression of one by another. So he said, he promised to all the people that never again this beautiful land, means the South African people, they will experience the oppression. Oppression means the brutality. In Hindi I can say atyachar. Okay, the oppressions by one by another, means from white people. Earlier what happened, when the white people they rule over South African people, that is on black people, they oppressed those people, they treat in a very brutal way to those people. So he said that now, as I'm the South African people, I become the South Africa's black president. Okay, now my land, means his land, is free from those oppressor. So now this land will never experience any kind of brutality from today. Jubilant scene on the street of Pretoria followed the ceremony with black, white and colored celebrating together. More than 1 lakh South African men, women and children of all races sang and danced with joy. So what is the scene on that day? What is the scenario was going on in the whole South Africa? That jubilant scene, it's varieties of scenes, means fancy scenes you can say, on the street of Pretoria, followed by the ceremonies. All the people are following the ceremonies with all the people, not only the black, white and colorful, celebrating together. All people, they came together and they celebrated together on that day. The street was looking very colorful. Okay, and more than 1,000 South African men, women and children, they came out, they from all kind of races. Okay, then after they came out, they sang and danced with joy. So that was a very joyful day, not only for Nelson Mandela, but for all the countrymen, all the people of South Africa. Now, so this part is the explanation, introduction part, okay, of this story. Now let's move to the main story, that is from page number 17. 10th May dawned bright and clear. For the past few days, I had been pleasantly beset by dignitaries and world leaders who were coming to pay their respect before the inauguration. So 10 May. So what is the date? That is 10th May. And 10th May, the early morning, it was very bright and clear. And after when he got selected as a president, after the selection, immediately they did not get inauguration. After like 1 week or 3-4 days, the inauguration ceremonies it get held. Okay, so for the past few days, it is about his experience. Okay, for the past few days he was pleasantly surrounded by lot of dignitaries, means lot of dignitaries as officers and the world leaders, they came to congratulate him. Okay, so he was surrounded So for the past few days he was surrounded, very busy. He was very busy with all those high officials, people and the world leader who were coming to him to pay their respect before the inauguration. So before the inauguration, before the day of the inauguration, he was receiving respect from all those peoples. Okay, the inauguration would be the largest gathering ever of international leader on South African soil. So that inauguration is very different. Okay, that inauguration is very different because it is the largest gathering ever of all the international leader on that South African soil, which was earlier never happened in South African soil, means in South Africa. Okay, so that is why that inauguration is very memorable, or you can say it is a red letter day. Red letter day means very memorable in the history. Okay, because that is the largest gathering ever of all the international leader on South African soil. Now, where does the ceremony took place? Very important question. The ceremony took place in the lovely sandstone amphitheater. The amphitheater last various years, that amphitheater is used to be the seat of those white people, that is white supremacy, the white ruler. Okay, before that day, for decades, okay, for centuries and for decades, those places, in that places, the South African people, the black people, are not allowed to come. Only those are the seat of those white people, white supremacy. Okay, but now it was not only reserved for the white people, it was reserved for all kind of people. Okay, now it was the site of a place of a rainbow gathering of different colors and nations for the installation of South Africa's first democratic non-racial government. So on that day, it is not only the place of white people, white ruler, now it is a place of a rainbow. Rainbow means all the people will come of different race, different group, different societies. Okay, and it will look like that all the different color, rainbow color, gather together in a in a particular places. Okay, in a particular place, and for what purpose? For the installation of which government? The new government, that is South Africa's first democratic and non-racial government. Non-racial government means the government which is free from apartheid system. Okay, and I think you know what is the meaning of democracy, democratic government. Yeah. On that lovely autumn day, I was accompanied by my daughter Zinani. Now, on that day, he was accompanied by whom? This is a very important question. He was accompanied by his daughter Zinani. On the podium, Mr. De Klerk was the first sworn in as second deputy president. Now, on the podium means a small platform for speaker. Okay, you can say the stage like that. So on the podium, who first sworn as second deputy president? Mr. De Klerk, he sworn. Yeah, because all of they have to take oath ceremony, na? So it is like oath taking ceremony. Then after Thabo Mbeki was sworn in as first deputy president. Then after Thabo Mbeki was sworn as a first deputy president, then when it was my turn, I pledged to obey and uphold the constitution and to devote myself to the well-being of the republic and its people. So when the time came for Nelson Mandela to pledge, so Nelson Mandela to sworn, so he pledged to obey and uphold. Uphold means to support, okay, the decision of the constitution, and to devote himself to the well-being of the republic, that is well-being of the republic and the people of South Africa. Okay, so he pledged that he will obey and he will support the constitution, and he will devote his entire life for the people of South Africa. And to the assembled guest and the watching world, what he said, what is his address? Okay, let's see what he said on that podium. To glory and hope to newborn liberty. So he said, today we are present here, those who we all are present here, we agree. Okay, we agree the glory, we accept the glory and hope okay, to newborn liberty, liberation. They have got a new liberation, right? Isn't it? So that is a newborn liberty for them. Okay. His when he become the president of South Africa's first black president, then the people of South Africa, they got a liberation, they got the freedom, isn't it? Earlier they did not have any kind of freedom. So on that day, all the people of South African people, they got the liberty. Out of the experience of an extraordinary human disaster that lasted too long must be born a society of which all humanity will be proud. So after, what he said is that after so many years of extraordinary human disaster which lasted for too long, like 300 centuries, this 3 centuries given, right? After that, a new society born, okay, for which all the humanity will feel proud from now on. Okay, now what is this extraordinary human disaster? Disaster, all of you know. Now what is extraordinary human disaster means? The cruelty, okay, the brutality, okay, the dictatorship which those white people had showed on South African people, that is the black people, that was extraordinary human disaster. Okay, those people, they had suffered a lot while the white rule. You can't imagine also what kind of suffering they had. Lot of sufferings they had, maltreatment, they got very bad treatment. They are almost treated like a slave, okay, by those white rulers. Okay, so that is the extraordinary human disaster. Now that day is the ultimate end of those extraordinary human disaster and the born of a new society get born, for which all humanity will proud. Okay, we who were outlaws not so long ago have today been given the rare privilege to be host to the nation of the world on our own soil. Okay, now we who were outlaws, it is given the meaning that because of this policy of apartheid, many countries had earlier broken off diplomatic relation with South Africa. Because of this apartheid system, because of this discrimination system, okay, many countries, they had break their relation with South Africa. So they are like outlaws. This country, South African country, are like outlaws country. So earlier many countries, they had break their relation with South Africa. Now see this country, South African country, they are giving the rare privilege to host the nation of the world. Okay, host the nation of the world on their own soil. Okay, now they are the leader of their own soil. Okay, that is a big thing. We thank all of our distinguished international guests for having come to take possession with the people of our country of what is, after all, a common victory for justice, for peace, for human dignity. Then after he thanked all the people, all the international guests and leaders who come in this inauguration ceremony for what? For a common victory. This victory is not only his victory, Nelson Mandela and his National Congress Party's victory. This victory is a common victory. Okay, it is a victory of all the people of South African people. Okay, common victory for what? For the justice which they have got after so many decades, for peace which they are going to have from now, and for the human dignity, the respect that they are means they should get. Okay, we have at least achieved our political emancipation. We pledge ourselves to liberate all our people from the continuing bondage of poverty, deprivation, suffering, gender and other discrimination. So now what Nelson Mandela said in his address, that at last they have achieved freedom, political freedom. Emancipation meaning is given freedom from restriction. Okay, all the kind of restriction which those white people have imposed on them, now here they are not allowed to sit here, and they are this kind of lots of restrictions those white people have imposed on the South African people, that is black people. Okay, now finally they have achieved political emancipation. Okay, and Nelson Mandela said that we pledge ourselves, that we all people will pledge ourselves that we will liberate all our people from the continuous bondage of what, because of this uh, oppression, because of this cruelty, okay, maltreatment. What happened to the people? They suffered from, they were suffering from poverty, deprivation, okay. Deprivation means what? They don't have any kind of rights, like we have our fundamental rights, isn't it? They don't have any kind of rights, okay. Then after lot of sufferings, yeah, then after gender and other kind of discrimination, so lot of discriminations, now they are liberate from all this kind of you can say oppression. Never, never, and never again shall it be that this beautiful land will again experience the oppression of one by another. So Nelson Mandela promised that now never, never, never this soil, this the people of South Africa will experience the oppression of one by another. The sun shall never set on so glorious a human achievement. Let freedom reign. God bless Africa. So he said that today, the way the sun is brightening, every day is the sun bright, right? But today the sun brightening very, very gloriously, okay. It is a human achievement, okay. Then what he said, that let freedom reign. Reign means sashan karna, okay. That let freedom to then he said that let the freedom to rule. Reign means to rule. Then after he said God bless America, and in this way he end up his speech, okay. So next we are in page number 19. A few moments later we all lifted our eyes in awe as a spectacular array of South African jets, helicopter and troop carrier rode in perfect formation over the Union building. So after a few moments later, all the people who are sitting in the amphitheater, they lifted up their eyes, okay, and in awe means in respect, as a spectacular array of South African jets, helicopter and troop carrier rode in perfect formation over the Union building. Means there is a very beautiful display, okay, which is done by those South African jets, helicopter and troop carrier no, over the Union building. So all of them, they lift up their eyes to see that impressive display, okay. It was not only a display of pinpoint precision and military force, but a demonstration of the military's loyalty to democracy, to a new government that had been freely and fairly elected. So what is said here, that display which is done by that day, which is done over Union building, okay, by those helicopters and troop carriers and African jets, okay, it is not only a display of accurate position and the display done by military force, but it is a demonstration, okay, by the military, or demonstration of the military's loyalty. They are paying their loyalty to the new government, new democratic government that had been freely and fairly elected, okay. Only moment before, the highest general of the South African Defence Force and Police, their chest bedecked with ribbons and medals from days gone by, saluted me and pledged their loyalty. So few minutes before that display on the sky, okay, few minutes before, the highest general of the South African Defence Force, okay, and the police, whose chest means they have their uniform, okay, and they are bedecked means decorated, their chests are decorated, their uniforms are decorated, means with ribbons and medals, okay. So they came to salute Nelson Mandela and they pledged their loyalty toward him. I was not unmindful of the fact that not so many years before they would not have been saluted but arrested me. So he, at the time, he did not mind all those things. He reminded that today they are paying their loyalty to me, not only to me, to the democratic government, newly formed democratic government. But before so many years, what they used to do, they used to arrest him. They arrested him instead of saluting, okay. So on that moment he reminded all those things, that these people earlier they arrested me, yeah, and now everything changes and now they are saluting me. Finally, a chevron of Impala jet left a smoke trail of the black, red, green, blue, and gold of the new South African flag. Okay, chevron meaning given a pattern in the shape of a V. Okay, the Impala's jet, they are making a V shape. Okay, and each jet are left smoke. Okay, smoke that is of black, red, green, blue, and gold, which is the color of the new South African flag. The day was symbolized for me by the playing of our two national anthems. So that day was symbolized for Nelson Mandela by playing of the two national anthems, and the vision of white singing. The vision of white singing that is there. Okay, so they also have their own songs. Okay, national anthem and rest of the other song for paying their tributes to the country. Okay, so that song is like vision of white singing Kosi Sikile I Africa, and black singing Die Stem. So they sang to both song. Okay, Die Stem is the old anthem of the Republic. Although that day neither group knew the lyrics of the anthem they once despised, they would soon knew the word by heart. So on that day, so many people who are sitting in the amphitheater, most of them they don't know the lyrics. Okay, but Nelson Mandela said that soon they will know the meaning of this song by their heart. On the day of the inauguration, I was overwhelmed with the sense of history. So on the day of the inauguration, he was overwhelmed. Okay, he get emotional when he reminding of the history, what used to happen before. Okay, in the first decade of the 20th century, a few years after the bitter Anglo-Boer War and before my own birth, the white-skinned people of South Africa patched up their differences and erected a system of racial domination against the dark-skinned people of their own land. So, he in the first decade of the 20th century, then after a few years after the bitter, means after, when bitter Anglo-Boer War happened, after a few years of Anglo-Boer War and before his own birth. So, and in the middle of that time, what happened? The white skinned people of South Africa, they patched up their differences. Okay, they built up a differences and they erected, okay, and they installed a system of racial domination against the dark skinned people. Means they started rule. Okay, in that rule they dominate the dark skinned people of their own land. The structure they created formed the basis of the one of the harshest, most inhumane society the world has ever known. So, this structure which they had created, it was formed the basis. Means all the people in the world, they know that this system is the most harshest and the most inhumane, means very very cruel society in all over the world. Okay. Now, in the last decade of the 20th century and my own 8th decade as a man, that system had been overturned forever. This happened when this system started, when in the first decade of the 20th century. At the time Nelson Mandela was not born also. Okay, so it is already said that after the Anglo-Boer War and before his own birth, this system was built up. Now, in the last decade of the 20th century, everything has changed. In the last decade of 20th century and as a 8th decade of a man, this system has been changed and overturned. Okay, and this system is replaced by the one that recognizes the right and freedom of all the people who live in the South African soil, maybe regardless of the color of the skin, whatever the color of the skin of the people they may have, whatever it is. Okay, but they will never be discriminated. That they had come about through the unimaginable sacrifices of thousands of my people whose suffering and courage can never be counted or repaid. So Nelson Mandela, what he said, what he accepted that this day, that day has not come has not achieved only because of me. Okay, this day is the sum up of all the sacrifices unimaginable. Means for years and years, many peoples have sacrificed a lot to make out this day. Okay, so it is, you cannot imagine that how many people have sacrificed their life to bring up this day. Okay, so that what Nelson Mandela said, that this day had come about through the unimaginable. Means even you cannot imagine that how many people had sacrifices their life. I mean thousands and thousands of people, they have sacrifices and their lives. Okay, people who suffering and courage, means whatever the suffering, whatever they had suffered during their struggle, okay, during their sacrifices and their courage, no one can count and cannot repay them. Okay, I felt that day, as I have on so many other days, that I was simply the sum of all those African patriots who had gone before me. So he said that I am nothing in front of them, I am just simply the sum of all those people, all those African patriots, okay, who had gone before me. Okay, now he bring up this day, he become the South first black president. But to bring this day, not only he and the African National Congress party's team, but lots of people, lot of common men, they have sacrificed their life. So he devote his respect to those people. He said that I cannot count, you cannot repay, I cannot repay them. That long and noble line ended and now begin again with me. So those things ended and now a new day is beginning with me. I was pained. Felt very disheartened. Okay, he felt very disheartened that he today, on that great day, he was not able to thank all of those people who had sacrificed their life. Okay, and he was also disheartened that they are not here to see that what had sacrifices had brought up. Okay, the policy of apartheid created a deep and lasting wound in my country and my people. Obviously, they have suffered a lot, okay, during that extraordinary human disaster which is caused by the white rulers. Okay, and it caused a deep and lasting wound in the country, in the people, okay, in the heart of all the people. Means those people, they cannot forget these things, whatever they had suffered, whatever their earlier generation had suffered. All of us will from that profound hurt, all of us will spend many years, if not generation, recovering from that profound hurt. So it will take generation to recover from their deep hurt, okay, whatever they had received from the white rule. Okay, but the decades of oppression and brutality had another unintended effect, and that was that it produced the Oliver Tambers, the Walter Sissulas, the Chief Luthulis, the Yusuf Dadus, the Bram Fishers, the Robert Subukwes of our time. Men of such extraordinary courage, wisdom and generosity that their like may never be known again. So what he said, that this oppression and brutality, because of this oppression and brutality, the courageous and the wisdom people, the generous people, okay, they had born. Okay, so the father of our own nation, that is Mahatma Gandhi. Okay, if the British people, they did not do any kind of operation on us, obviously they also have created an extraordinary human disaster for us, right? We Indian people also, we suffered a lot. Okay, if we did not suffer anything, then is Mahatma Gandhi can do those kind of sacrifices for our nation? Is he become so popular at the time? Is he get the opportunity to do something for the nation? Obviously no, there's no need for that. But why we know him today? Okay, why we know him today, why we read his name as a famous historian? Because of this operation, because of the operation which the British people had imposed on us. Okay, so the same thing, because of the operations, because of the brutality, these people they produced. Okay, and they are the man of, according to the Mandela, they are the man of much extraordinary courage, wisdom and generosity. Okay, like he said that this kind of people he can never have again in his soil. Okay, they are different kind of people, the wisdom are different, they are very very generous, and they are very very courageous person. Okay, these people have they played a very important role to fight against the apartheid system. That is what he wanted to say. Okay, perhaps it requires such depth of operation to create such height of character. They are kind of a height of character. They are very high height of character, these people. And now what Nelson Mandela said, that the depth means how deep the operation is, brutality, cruelty is. The depth of operation, it can create that height of character. Okay, if there will be no operation, okay, if the people of South African people never suffered with any kind of cruelty or brutality, visible. Okay, so what he said, that the depth of operations are here to create such height of character. Character means this people. My country is rich in the mineral. So what he said, that his country is very very rich in the mineral and gems, okay, that lie beneath its soil. But what he basically accept, what Nelson Mandela accepted, that I have known that its greatest wealth is its people. So it is very very important that according to Mandela, what is the greatest wealth of South Africa? So greatest wealth of South Africa according to Mandela is not minerals and gems that lie beneath its soil, but its people. They are finer and truer than the purest diamond. It is from these comrades in the struggle that I learned the meaning of courage. So during this, from this people, comrades means from these persons, okay, who with whom he had worked, okay, the political party, the people in the political party, who comrades means, I think all of you can know that the people who work with together, okay, work together. So these comrades, these people, okay, with whom I have struggled together, I learned what is the meaning of courage. Time and again I have seen men and women risk and give their life for an idea. So each year, every time he had seen, okay, that there are various men and women, they had risked their life and give their life for an idea for democratic country. I have seen men stand up to attack and torture without breaking, showing a strength and resilience that defies the imagination. So what he said, that he have seen lot of people, okay, of his country who stand up to attack, okay, who stand up to torture, okay, without breaking. They never break up, okay, they never break down, okay, they show their strength and they show their capability to handle each and every kind of situations, okay, that defies the imagination, means which people cannot imagine. I learned that courage was not the absence of fear but the trump over it. Very very important. So what does courage means according to Mandela? That what he learned, that courage was not the absence of fear. If you don't fear, it doesn't mean that you are very very courageous person. This is very important for you also. Okay, listen carefully. What is the actual meaning of courage? It is very well described here by Nelson Mandela, that if you don't fear, if you don't feel fear of anything, it doesn't mean that you are a very courageous person. Okay, courage was not the absence of fear but the trump over it. You have fear, but you no get victory over that fear. That is called actual courage. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquer that fear, who defeat that fear. A brave man is not called those person who don't feel afraid of anything, but they can conquer, they can defeat that fear. That person are called brave man. So what Nelson Mandela says, no one is born having another person because of the color of his skin or his background or his religion. Sorry, hating here, hating. So no one in whenever a baby get born, they never learn from that time that we have to hate other. So no one is born hating another person. Okay, their sense of hating, it never started from the day when they got born. Okay, so people must learn to hate. Actually, how the people start to hate? Because people, they learned to hate. Okay, okay, they are black, so I have to hate. They are white, so I have to love them. It is not like that. As they grow up, they learn to hate. Okay, and if they can learn to hate, they can be taught to love. So according to Mandela, if a people can learn to hate, then obviously these people can also learn to love. Okay, they can also taught to love, for love comes more naturally to the human heart than its opposite. So hatred feeling is filled up by the outsider, but love feeling comes from inside, comes naturally. Okay, so what is given here, if the person can learn to hate, then definitely the person can be taught to love, because loves come more naturally from the human heart than its opposite, that is hate. Even in the grimiest time in prison, when my comrades and I were pushed to our limits, I would see a glimmer of humanity in one of the guard. So he shared his one of the experience about the love and hatred feeling, that in the grimiest time, in a very bad time, okay, when they are having very tough time in the prison and they were pushed to their limits, okay, means they are tortured out of their limits. Okay, means not only he and his comrades also, at a time he see a glimmer of humanity in the eye of one of the guard. Okay, perhaps just for a second, even just for a second, he saw a glimmer of humanity in the eye of one of the guard, and it was enough to ensure, that is reassure that, and keep me going. So he after watching that, after seeing that the little humanity, even for a second, okay, little humanity in the eye of the god, he realized that people, they actually learn to hate. Okay, hatred feeling never comes naturally. Okay, man's goodness is a flame that can be hidden but never extinguished. Very, very important word is given. Man's goodness, each and every human being has a goodness. Okay, the flame of that goodness you can hide, but it can never be extinct from your body. A people can hide that feeling, the goodness feeling, the goodness quality, the people can hide, but it can never be extinguished. And it, that guard, okay, even just for a second, that guard proved that maybe he has to follow the order of his superior, okay, to torture him, to torture he Nelson Mandela and his comrade, but still his goodness, whatever his goodness, each and every man, they have their own goodness, right? So his goodness, that flame of his goodness, he have to hide, he has to hide. Okay, it can never be extinguished. So that is a thing. So students, I'm going to end this story up to here. Dear students, if you like today's video, then do like and subscribe to my channel. Till then, bye bye, take care and stay safe.